What's up, everybody? I'm Dave Miranda, and this is episode 122 of Just Give Me 5. I hope you guys are doing great, continuing to be amazing. We got a really awesome show lined up for you today. But first things first, I need you to hit that like button, I need you to hit that subscribe, and I need you to spread the word about Just Give Me 5, all right? If you guys caught episode 121, you saw we had none other than my brother Justice. And let me tell you, that episode has turned into one of my personal favorites, just for so many reasons, man. Me and Justice go way, way back. The first time, like I said, the first time I met him, I actually almost got a little teary-eyed, a little emotional when I was watching that because it was through the studio session I had with Nightbreed, you know what I mean? And Nightbreed gave me my first opportunity, man, to lay something down. And, something that I'll just, like I said, man, I'll never forget. I will always be grateful. Justice from the jump. Always solid, it was just like, whatever you need, what I'm saying, let us know. Any way we can help you, and so, years later, 20 years later here, now I, have a platform and I'm able to provide these opportunities to, repay these individuals back. And so to have him on here to share his story, it was just beautiful, man, and, like I said, man, salute to you, my brother, and I see you, man, you're continuing to thrive. Everything that you have, it's like the sky is the limit, but never let the limit be the sky, you know what I mean? So, man, make sure you guys watch episode 121, all right? But today's guest is one of the dopest and most hardworking MCs to ever touch the mic and is a true gem to the Arizona hip-hop community. We're gonna talk about how he became an MC. We're also going to talk about his family history with Surprise, Arizona, some legendary MCs he's worked with, his clothing brand, and so much more. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you, Tay the Crown.
What it do, what it does, man. It's Tay the Crown, and all I'm saying is just give me 5. Probably Wu-Tang Clan, man. You know what I mean? I heard other MCs before that, but Wu-Tang Clan was specifically the one that caught my ear. At the time being like an author, a young writer, they kind of taught me how to interpret things in a different way, you know what I mean? Right. So they were cool. They weren't just the blunt, straight to the point guys. They interpret guns into swords and different things. So They taught me how to incorporate that in my raps as well, you know what I mean? I did poetry all the way since I could write, all the way, to now, you know what I mean? Did have a couple incidents. Second grade, I wrote a book called Boxing Frog from Outer Space, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was able to win a contest at my school. I had got a scholarship bond, for Grand Canyon State University. That was when I was in second grade. Moving forward, 8th grade, I had left a poetry book. It was just like something I kept to myself, you know what I'm saying? I had left it on the bus by accident, and I think another school ended up going on the field trip, and the teacher had found it. And she didn't know who I was, couldn't find me, but she entered one of the poems into a contest, and it actually won in Washington, D.C. So I got inducted into a book inside the Library of Poetry, you know what I mean? Wow. So that was a great incident that happened to me in my life. It's a book that just keeps getting added on to, so it's a big, big, big book full of authors, man. I'm in there with Langston Hughes and different type of people, man, you know what I mean? A big reason why I started rapping actually was because a lot of cats my age wasn't feeling the poetry, you know what I mean? It was something I was kind of embarrassed about, and I didn't have a way to convert. I needed a way to convert those poems into the ear of my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? And I started rapping, and that's how I began, you know what I mean? Yeah. Starting out young, my mother used to throw away my books. She wasn't really feeling the raps, because I was always talking about guns, shooting, street shit that, I wasn't really into at the time, not strongly into, and she was trying to let me know, like, that ain't the route to go. Like, live your truth. If you're gonna write it down, live your truth, man, And at that time, I didn't have a story being that young. I had to go through the trials of life. I really had to live on the streets. I really had to go to jail and prison. I really had to go through these trials and tribulations. And it seemed like after I got fed up with all that, I was about the age of 27, 28, 29, around then. That's when I started like putting it together and, you know, making it work. My mother is a painter, and she used to tell me all the time, like, you know, I thought it was just like, you got this gift. How come you just don't paint all the time? Like, how come you don't wake up every day and this is what you do?
Right.
And for her, it was an emotion, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like painting, like if she was going through something in her mind or just going through some period in life, that's when she'll go do portraits and she'll just do paintings, period.
Yeah,
And I kind of liken that to the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, you could give me a beat and I could write for you, but if you want something that's totally timeless that I feel that everybody can relate to, yeah, man, it's gonna have to come to me that way, you know what I mean? The Marshall family, my family, they were sharecroppers who came out here from Texas back in the late 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
They worked a few years until they, you know, they used to go out there way west, surprise to work, and go back home, save up money, go back home.
Right.
It's you know, a thing that they did, man, and not only just my immediate family, but just friends of the family. Everybody came out here together. They migrated together,
Yeah.
and everybody saved money. And they came out here and bought land, the first landowners out there in Surprise, Arizona.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's still there to this day. We all got the original square mile there to us. We have a street out there named after my last name, Marshall Drive.
Nice.
You know what I mean? There's a stadium, one of the practice stadiums for the spring training, Texas Rangers and the Cincinnati Reds. The stadium's named after my big cousin, William H. Parker. He used to play in the major leagues.
Really?
Yeah, and he was one of the first people to get the sports and recs program started out there, you know what I mean?
Wow, man.
So yeah, my roots run deep out there. They come from Crockett, Texas and Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they're not the only ones. Just Surprise is I feel like it's a nice historic town, period, because it wasn't, you gotta think back in 1950, it wasn't there as a town. There's people that came from somewhere else and built the whole town up themselves.
It was literally a surprise.
Yeah, it was literally, I think that's why they called it that, because, you know, you'll be surprised it was a town back then, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And now look at it, man. It's like one of the fastest growing cities probably on this side of the map, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
I'm grateful that my family was able to still keep it like this long, because there's a lot of families that go ahead and give it away. Like when the grandparents die, you know, and they hand it down, they just want the money sometimes, the kids, and just sell it, and
You know what I mean?
you don't got it no more, and it's gone. That's your whole history, you know what I mean? They don't make land no more. So once they buy it, you know what I mean, it's gone. You can't buy it no more, you know what I mean? And that's just something that I kind of preach now, man. I know the very importance it is, man, to have land, you know what I mean? I had moved to Maryville half my life. You know, I stayed out there for almost 15 to 20 years. Then, you know, just, I don't know how or why I even made that move. I really didn't want to make the move, to be honest, but
Yeah.
there was so much just history in my grandparents' past. So when I go out there, it's like I got the next legacy, man. I'm the next up. It kind of skipped, the generation before me was the crack era, you know what I mean?
Right,
So that wiped out a lot of my family members, you know what I mean? And I feel like we the next generation to make it right, you know what I mean? And I want to do the best of my ability to just stay down with it, man, and bring attention to that side of town, you know what I mean? We were the ones that had to do the Martin Luther King celebrations out there. We were the families that had to do the Juneteenth and bring the culture there, you know what I mean? It's a Mexican culture and a black culture in that town, you know, originally, you know what I mean? And we just try to keep them vibes too, man, just keep people knowing where this town really came from. I work with Razzcast, the Alcoholics, you know, Wu-Tang, Ice-T. So far, yeah.
You know,
Volume 10, gotta throw him in there, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, and look at what you just said, right? You know, so now we're digging back to how we spoke about in question one, where it all started from. The inspiration was Wu-Tang. Fast forward time, you get a chance to work with them. How does that feel?
Yeah, man, it was like, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. I was sitting on the couch one day. I had sent some music. I remember when I started rapping, started doing it for real. Every time I made a dope song I thought I liked, I would send it to each member. Just on some fanboy shit, man, you know what I mean? And just send it to them. Fast forward a year later, I'm sitting on the couch with my lady. And I get a phone call from Capadonna, man. You know, it was the 25th anniversary and they were sliding through town.
Yeah.
You know, he liked what I did, man. He said I got your music. I didn't respond right away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he responded and he invited me out and we was able to kick it with him. And I was able to play my music for the RZA, rap for Inspector Deck. You know, just be around them cats, man. It was a crazy experience, man. You know what I mean? It was like something coming full circle. Like it was assurance that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
So, you know, you got a chance to work with Razcast.
Another dream come true.
The one that I saw you actually had Ice-T in your video.
Yeah, man, that was
That happened.
that was crazy, man. That's another guy that's been on my television and stereo my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was thanks to J-Ro, man. We got a song called Sober, man, you know.
J-Ro of the Licks, correct?
J-Ro,
Yeah.
Alcoholics, you know what I mean? And shout out to Tash too, man. Those are my big brothers right there.
Yeah, so
I bet you do.
that's another story, but go ahead.
Yeah. Man, God bless Tash, man. He's alcohol free too, man. So I got to give a shout out to him, man. But yeah, man, J-Ro, that was an alley-oop from him, man. Just happened to be sitting there shooting some scenes, and here comes Ice-T popping up, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And he was a dope, down-to-earth person, man. Gave me a lot of advice. You know, he said I reminded him of Snoop, you know?
Yeah, man.
Just every day, we're always in tune with each other, man. You know, that I can't call it. That's all God, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really can't call it, man. Just to be in communication with somebody like that's Ice-T, you know what I mean?
Right.
I kind of put him a little bit above Snoop in a way, you know, in certain aspects. You know, I feel like Snoop learned the game from him in a way.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the biggest one for me, you know what I mean? And hey, just to get advice from him all the time, every day. And when I go to LA, he shouted me out on stage when I went to LA at the Garden Amp. You know, I just happened to walk through the door. You know how many people in this place? I happen to be just walking through the door and he shouts me out on stage, "Hey, take the crown." Popped the collar on me. Ah, man, just things like that. Coming from a little small country town like Surprise, you never imagine things like that could happen, you know what I mean? I used to go to sleep listening to the Baker Boys, man.
Yeah, man.
Midnight to about 5 o'clock in the morning. Them Sway and Tech used to come on the weekends.
Yep.
And I end up being around these guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy, you know what I mean? Just being from Arizona, period, you don't get them chances, man. You know?
Correct?
I'm actually currently working with the Baker Boys right now. That was from the Brother Volume 10, you know, pistol grip pump on my lap at all times.
Right.
He happened to come to one of my shows. He caught me out here and he was impressed. And ever since then, he kind of took me under his wing. You know, anything, you know, he took me to the Psycho Realm Fest. You know,
Yeah.
he had me doing, he's got me where I need to be at, man. He's showing me the ropes, you know what I mean? And that's how that came about with the Baker Boys. You know, the Baker Boys loved what they heard, you know, and of course, they're the ones who produced his platinum selling hit, you know what I mean? And they want to work with me in the same manner. And, you know, I'm here, you know what I mean?
Beautiful, man.
A couple months back, I did a show. It's pretty much the whole crowd saying the words to the song, you know what I mean? And, you know, you put your head down so much and work.
Yeah.
You know, you don't take the chance to, I totally messed up on my lyrics when, you know, I seen it. You know, when I caught wind of it,
Yeah.
threw me off, and that was just one of the moments like, man, yeah, it's starting to happen now.
Yeah, man.
Took a long time, but it's starting to happen.
And then tell us about TTG.
TTG, Toast to the Gifted, man. Yeah, man, this is a collective of brothers who are all going for the same common cause. We pretty much support each other through resources, you know, and we're not a group, we're a collective, man, a label. So yeah, like it consists of Kamani Kim, which is our ATM, the professional. He's been on the scene, man, for a while too, man. One of the dopest artists I know. One of the dopest producers I know, you know what I mean? We got OG Bobby Negro, he's coming from North Carolina. Dope ass MC, he has a great history too, man. He just got a release of one of his albums in Germany, a 25th anniversary album, you know what I mean?
Nice, man.
Yeah, we got people. We got my man Boogie Bryan, who he used to have a situation with the G Unit back when Sean Money XL used to ride around here all the time, man. You know, back remember that little era, the North Pole era, all that.
Yeah.
You know, we just got a whole bunch of brothers that had this and did this before and know what to do. And we all came together for one common cause, like I said, man. Shout out to Jake Lockley, that's our producer. Shout out to C1, that's our producer. Hope I ain't forget nobody. Jay Warner, that's our young boy, man. We consist of 7 members. You know, we all got a job to do. My job, you know, I handle bookings and I handle like merchandise. I got another person who does graphics and, you know, production. You know, you get the idea. Everybody has multiple hats in this group. I specialize in making clothes. I have a company called Crowns Custom Creations. And I basically help other artists and other individuals who have businesses. I help them get logos and just different type of merchandise started, like an upstart, you know what I mean? And hopefully they get flowing on that after they, you know, get going, after I get them going. But those are the type of things I do. I also have a clothing line called Tay, T-A-Y. Today and yesterday equals forever, you know what I mean? And of course, just all the merchandise. I make all the merchandise myself, you know. You can catch that on taythecrown.com, and there are also Crowns Custom Creations on IG and other avenues.
That's great, man. You know, and just hearing all that from, you know, the main thing that I take from all that is that you're a humanitarian, man. You know what I'm saying? You like to help, you like to give. What sparked that for you, man?
Nobody ever did it for me, man. Trying to rap, I had to pick up on game from a lot of people, man. You know, maybe it's because I felt like nobody wanted to help me, or maybe I didn't want to be a pest or anything, but I had to just pick up on game, and it was a hard road doing that. I lost a lot of time, I felt like, trying to just pick up on game. Right. And, you know, there was nobody at that time that I could go to that was willing to give me the game. Because everybody seemed like like I said, this was after the Willie North Pole era and the CQs and all this little era. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was left up to another generation like us to figure it out, you know what I mean? And we didn't have nobody to go to. I just want to be the guy that they can go to, you know what I mean? I want to be the guy that can show and prove, and they can see it through results, you know what I mean? And they know what I'm talking about. I want to be remembered for just being a good dude, a pure soul, you know, a good-spirited man, that, you know, that left his mark on the world in that way. It don't have to be about music. It don't have to be about anything else, success. I just want people to remember me for me, you know, the kind of person I am, man. Shit, it feels great, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a feeling that everybody needs, you know what I mean? Especially in these days and times, man. A lot of mental awareness is going on, and, yo, a great part of my mental stability is waking up next to a beautiful woman who tells me that she loves me, that got kids that run up to me every day that tells me that they love me. You know what I mean? That I got great people out here. I don't even call them fans, man. I just got people that I grew up with in this place that we call Arizona, and they love me too. You know what I mean? They're the reasons why I'm here in these places, you know what I mean? And I gotta give a shout out to that, you know what I mean? Shout out to the fans for that, and for making me feel that special. What up? We over and out. Tay the Crown. That was my interview. I took 5, and now we about to take 5. Peace.
And there you have it. Man, shout out to my homie Tay the Crown. You know, Tay is just a very, just has such a unique style, man, and just a really, really good human being, man, a hard worker. It's like, he's been on the grind for years, man. It's like every time you see him, he's into something new, and, you know, just making moves, man. You know what I'm saying? And the people that he's been working with, you know, it's a really, really good fit for him. I remember he actually hit me, I think it was like last year, and was telling me that, you know, when I had the opportunity to tour in Japan, me and my brother Megaran, we went out there and toured. He was telling me that, you know, that really gave him a lot of inspiration to continue on, because he's like, man, here's a guy from my city, from my state, you know, and he's over there overseas. And he was like, man, this, you know, at that point, it's like, you know, you just got to keep reaching for the stars, man. And so that really meant a lot. You know what I mean? It's always good to know that the moves you make and everything that you do, you're never doing it in vain, man. When it's like that, it's like people are realizing it. And as long as you can inspire, always aspire to inspire. That's the way I move. So, man, shout out to you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I wish you nothing but the best and nothing less. Keep doing your thing. you know, you're doing a great job, and you know, you're making the city proud, man. So much love to you. Make sure you guys are following him on social media. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson on the camera. Make sure you guys subscribe to that YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. Well, this was definitely one for the books. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, though. And until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy, and just give me 5, y'all.
Everything you get, you got to work hard. I had to hustle hard, never